Peace and love, everybody. Salute. Salute to all my good people. What's up, you guys? Okay, it is fight night, and I figured I'd come by and do some boxing talk. Yes. I'm excited. I'm curious. And it's an excitement level that I did not initially have going into this fight, but in seeing the card as a whole, in processing possible outcomes, my interest has definitely risen, more significantly than initially had. As you guys know, I was not necessarily enthused, specifically about Bud and Madrimov as a matchup, but it is what it is. I'm a fight fan. I like Bud, his fight style. So of course I'm going to show up and show some support and tune in. It's here. I'm here with it. I'm tuning in. I'm ready to go to see an amazing night of boxing. I'm definitely curious to see how things will play out. That's for sure. This card is certainly full of interesting characters, interesting energies. Okay. And I think that's going to lead to some possibly exciting outcomes, right? Probably a lot of unexpected outcomes as well. And it is additionally for that reason that my attention is piqued as well. No cap. So I'm going to share with you guys my views, my perspectives on the fights of significance for me. Now, I am definitely a big supporter of David Morrell. Okay, I rocks with David. He is the bomb. He's adorable. He's fiery. He's got sauce. He's got swag. And I've been a fan of him ever since I came into knowing about him some years ago. I expect him to put on a fantastic showcase tonight against Kalajdzic. The man has got everything that makes for a dangerous fighter, Morrell. Okay, from his aggression to his boxing style, his use of his jab, which of course we can accredit to the king, Ronnie Shields. Okay, he is coveted for his fighters exhibiting a stiff, powerful jab. Morrell's got good feet. He is no stranger on top of all of this to devastating knockouts. Okay, I mean, the man has got a lot to work with. I really, really rocks heavily with David Morrell. I think he's going to dominate Kalajdzic. I really do. I find Kalajdzic, or however the fuck you say his name, y'all. Pardon me if I'm butchering that man's name. But I find that dude to be very awkward in his style. He's long and lanky. Okay, he seems to use entanglement to suppress his opponent's onslaught. I'm not sure if you guys watched that fight with him in Better BF, but he just wrapped around that man as much as he could like a rope. Of course, before Better BF put his ass to the canvas. But, he's weird, very awkward, jittery style. He doesn't really have much defense he doesn't have any goddamn defense, real talk. So I don't think he has a chance against no damn David Morrell. The man bends low to the ground to dodge shots. He's just weird to me. Very weird style. I don't think that his capacity allows for him to be competitive in the least bit against a wonderful fighter like Morrell. I think that if Morrell applies enough pressure to him, if he boxes, of course, he's done for. He may not even really have to do that much. The man is wide open for all types of counters. Morrell should be eating ice cream in the ring with this dude. Real talk. So, definitely got Morrell for the win. Now, additionally, what's garnering my attention and excitement here in this particular matchup is not necessarily the opponent for Morrell, of course, but it's the fact that Morrell is entering the 175-pound division, which means that he is inching closer and closer to the fight, apparently, that boxing heads really want to see and are really in high anticipation for. And that is, of course, the fight with he and David, the Mexican monster, Benavidez. Now, for the past, I don't know how many months, probably a year now, I would say, realistically, it seems that David Benavidez has been growing more and more weary about the reality and the possibility of his fight with Canelo Alvarez, right? And that's understandable. He's been chasing this man for, I can't even count how many years it's been. So with that on the table, I think it's only right that David Benavidez turns his attention to and sets his eyes on the man right behind him. The one that is saying that he has all the smoke necessary to end the myth of the Mexican monster. David, don't act like you don't hear this motherfucker calling your name behind you. Turn around, look him up and down, and say what's popping. That's what I'm ready for. Benavidez, of course, just had his debut at 175 a couple of months ago as well. So, they'll pretty much be 1-1 in the division. Very, very interesting stuff here, you guys, at play. A fight at 175 is definitely, without a doubt, the fight that I want to see. What? Both absolutely beautiful warriors, both undefeated, both devastatingly vicious, both with a bloodlust in that ring. You guys, I can't keep it together. I'm thinking about it, and it's just exciting. Real talk, I'm more inclined towards this fight with David Benavidez and David Morrell than Benavidez versus Canelo. Okay? Canelo has long lost my respect. Okay? And he most certainly murked his goddamn self again, even further, with his recent folly. Okay? With the choice to fight Edward Berlanga, of all people. Edwin Berlanga. I am ready for Canelo, honestly, to pack the shit up and call it quits. Okay? Let these young gunners get it in, please. Let them take care of this business and get this work done. I'm tired of Canelo's ass. But anyway, yes, I've got David Morrell for the win tonight, and I cannot wait to see what's next for him after this. I doubt, of course, that Benavidez will be, something that's next or anything like that. But it's definitely great to see them, kind of teetering closer and closer together. What was interesting was that Morrell, I believe in the Arrival presser interview, one of the interviews that he did, someone also mentioned to him, hey, you're at 175 now. Is it because you are trying to get your hands on Benavidez? And of course, everybody's questions are always going to surround the concept of him fighting Benavidez. And he's always affable with the reporters, and he's never annoyed about answering any questions pertaining to Benavidez. But he did state that he is not necessarily chasing him, but we all know what time it is. Because you could have stayed at 168 if that's the case. But according to him, he had the opportunity to take the fight at 75 with this gentleman. So he did it, not necessarily for Benavidez, but for the opportunity, I guess, because he can fight in both weight classes. But anyway, I want to see that fight in the future. I'm definitely keeping my eyes on the young King Morrell, and I can't wait to see what's next for him. But yes, I have Morrell for the win. Now, for Andy Ruiz and Big Baby Miller, y'all. I think that has all over it the potential to be a really good fight. I really do. I think it could be a really good fight, or it could actually be really boring. I don't know why it's like, I feel like it's going to be something extreme. Either it's going to be really powerful, entertaining and impactful, or there's a possibility for it to be kind of lackluster. I don't know. I just see maybe the energy. I'm wondering. I guess the thing I'm questioning is the energy at hand. Will they be, will endurance be on the table? How is their stamina going to hold up? There's so many different factors at play here with these two men that I find to be very interesting, and I think it's going to set the pace for the fight. Both of them pretty much have an explosive style, aggressive. They're not shy to aggression. They both like to pressure their opponents. I mean, two huge men, mammoth level men. They pack power. They can both be devastating if allowed the room to be. Okay. I'm wondering what their analysis of each other is in this fight. What is their plan of attack for each other? That's really what I'm interested in this particular case. I'm interested in that. I'm not necessarily, for the whop, 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 you know what I'm saying? The throwing of hands, which we know Andy Ruiz has a sick level of speed. He throws his punches in bunches and stuff like that. He's explosive like that. So I get the excitement factor in there. But what I'm really curious about is how they view each other. How do they see each other? I like the mentality behind that. That's kind of what I'm more interested in, because I think that if they are sharp in the game plan and if they have made the correct assessments of each other, I think that's a dynamic that can play to the victor's benefit more than we realize. Now, I say that because the reality is that Andy Ruiz has been out of the ring for 2 years. Okay. And so game plan and the assessment, the proper, clear assessment of the opponent is definitely going to be a strategy that will lead to one's downfall or one's victory. His inactivity has to be compensated for a strategy that is essentially flawless, or as flawless as possible. He's coming off quite the goddamn significant layoff, you guys. 2 years, excuse me? 8 months, 10 months, 12 months is way too long, to be honest. This man is coming off 2 years. How is he going to show up to the ring? Okay? Now, interesting as well is that Big Baby has been active, as we know. And he's been training in Philly with Bozy Ennis. To my understanding, which definitely could inspire some IQ from him at the forefront, some fundamentals that we haven't seen him express before, but who knows? It's been a very short period of time that he's been out there. But according to him, he feels good. He feels ready. He's much more focused. He's been working on his stamina, allegedly, all these different types of things. Of course, we'll see if this is going to be put to work once they get in that ring. But he seems to be in better spirits. Both men are coming off of devastating personal issues, to my understanding, in their personal matters, in their personal lives. I believe that during the layoff, Andy had some marital issues. Miller also expressed that he went through a divorce. So, we'll see how they carry their weight. No pun intended. We'll see how they carry their weight. 2 years of inactivity is way too severe for any fighter. But, if he's dedicated enough, Andy Ruiz, that is, he will be able to pull out the victory. How is he going to be able to adapt is another question that I have under those lights. Again, after such extensive inactivity is another good question. Big Baby Miller also had the scandal with the car hijacking, the charade of the goddamn car thieving, or whatever the case that was, after coming off the Day of Reckoning card around the New Year. So these men are carrying a lot of baggage. Their lives have been replete with turbulence and drama. I think that this fight ultimately will be a showing of who is dedicated to their craft, of who can maintain their output and assert their dominance. Okay? Who really wants to claim the heavyweight division, essentially, alongside the best. That's what it's going to come down to. Who's willing to prove that? Who's willing to make their mark? Real talk for this one, I don't know who the hell I'm picking. I really don't. I think it's an even 50-50 fight when you consider Ruiz's inactivity and, the personal lives, I guess. I don't know, you guys. I'll say right now at the moment, I'll go with Ruiz just because I believe in his skill. I believe in his talent. I believe in his speed, his power and aggression. But this is a tough one, y'all. I'll just leave it there because I can go down a rabbit hole with the possibilities. I'll just keep it surface level and say Andy Ruiz for right now. Though, if Big Baby Miller has the right mindset from working alongside Bozy and his team and working alongside, the people that have been hopefully keeping his mind together, and that he's clear and focused as he says he's been for this training camp. And also if he learned from his last defeat against Dubois, I think he could just as easily pull off the victory. So yeah, I say 50-50, but at the moment if I had to name somebody, I would say Andy Ruiz. And now, I'm going to be completely honest about this next matchup and say that I have no vested interest whatsoever with this particular fight. And that is the fight with El Rayo and Pitbull. I really don't find Pitbull to be an elite fighter, you guys. Okay? He has no footwork whatsoever. All he does is come forward. He throws his punches. He swings, he gets in close, he charges at you like a bull. I just have not seen anything where he's proved elite level status. I don't know why he's being attributed all of these qualities out of nowhere. He hasn't proven a motherfucking thing yet, you guys. He beat Rolly Romero. Okay. And? You feel me? Like, who the hell is Rolly in the boxing world but a man who can talk shit like nobody else? And you know what? I like Rolly. I like Rolly's humor. I think he's entertaining. And I definitely think that he has power that any fighter should be wary of, right? But Rolly is not an elite competitor either. Let's just keep it a buck. He's not an elite competitor either. Pitbull, to me, is, he's simply a pressure fighter. That's all he is to me. That type of style worked on the caliber of fighters that he was dealing with at the time that were on his level or below his level at that particular time. We all saw what happens when he gets in there with an elite, aka Tank Goddamn Davis, okay, who had one hand on the night of their fight and demolished this man. I'm not sure what the hype train is about. And I'm not hating on the man. I think it's, I want to see any fighter, rise to the occasion. But you got to actually rise to the occasion before I roll out a red carpet for you. I'm just not that type of fight fan. I'm not that type of analyst. You have to show me. I'm from the show me state. And I'm going to keep it a buck. I think, what's been made of his mystique and the fanfare that's been created around him is really only due to the fact that he fought Tank Davis. That's his only accreditation. Real talk. You got to do more than that to be considered an elite fighter. How about you actually beat somebody of notable stature first? Not just be in the ring with them, but beat them. Like, what? What happened to the days where you actually had to beat the man to be considered the man? What's going on here, you guys? It's wild to me how he's toted up and given a regard that he has not yet earned. But anyway, as far as the fight itself between him and El Rayo, I think El Rayo is a decent fighter, and I actually posit that he's a better overall fighter than Pitbull Cruz. To me, he has more layers. He's exemplified more layers in his style. I would lean toward Rayo to pull off the victory tonight. He's my pick tonight. However, of course, that all depends on how susceptible he allows himself to be to Pitbull's pressure. If he can box smart and maintain a distance on the outside, he could definitely make a clean sweep, hands down. I think an educated jab overall, something as simple as a jab is Pitbull's downfall if it's an educated jab. You feel what I'm saying? Little things. Because the man is so limited that, just a simple fundamental can put him at bay. But also, I also think that if Pitbull makes his way on the inside and is able to overwhelm, as he normally does his opponents, if he's able to overwhelm an unprepared Rayo, of course, he'll get him out of there. He'll have him looking like he had Rolly looking. If Pitbull feels that he's the one at any particular point that is dictating the pace and feels, easily able to establish his mark and make his mark, then Rayo will definitely face pointless trouble. Okay. And he will be gotten out of there. It's just as simple as that. But I'll say El Rayo for now. But you know what also came to mind? You know, El Rayo's chin has been goddamn dusted. Okay, the man has been knocked clean out. Of course, he avenged that knockout loss to Chris Colbert. But the chin it's been touched. Hopefully, he's learned his lesson. Hopefully, he's sharpened, his sword and has been hard at work because he cannot play, aloof with somebody who charges at you and who is dead set on getting a goddamn knockout or pressuring you to goddamn hell. So he better wake up. Don't fall asleep against no damn pit bull because you will be out of there. Okay, now, Jared Anderson versus Martin Bakole. What? This fight right here is the one that I am interested in for some reason on this card. I am leaning towards this fight as far as excitement, as far as engagement level. This is the one that is drawing my energy nearest to it for some reason. Okay? And what's interesting about this is that I had not previously known who the fuck Martin Bakole was previous to, their alignment on this card. Okay? I never watched him fight before. But for me, it was really after the grand arrival face-off that they had that really piqued my interest. Okay? I ain't gonna cap, I was feeling Bakole's energy, you guys. Okay? And I went and did my research of him because of it. I went and watched fight after fight. The dude is not to be played with, you guys. Martin Bakole. Okay? He is heavy hitting. He's a sturdy man. He's mean as fuck in that ring. And he likes to let them hands go. He likes to let his hands go. Okay? During their face-off, I was intrigued because Bakole was in no way moved or shaken by Jared Anderson. Okay, he was totally game. He did not back down. He was all pressure and confidence. I like that, y'all. And Jared, his energy was like composed and smiling as he does, flashing that beautiful smile that he has. He seemingly looked really grateful to be there. He was taking it all in, so that was wonderful. That young, confident swag was on deck with Jared. But yes, real talk, y'all. I think this fight stands to be one of them ones. I don't know. I just keep getting the feeling of that. I don't know. Martin Bakole is no slouch at all, you guys. Okay, he will dominate if given the floor. Okay, didn't see a lot of defense from him in my analysis. Also, he's not the fastest. So if Jared can, apply some speed and some accuracy with that output, he will definitely prevail. Okay, on those qualities that Martin Bakole appears to be lacking in my view. I'm going to go with Jared to snatch the victory. He's got the youth. He's skilled. And we know how he shows up for the most part. However, Martin is only 31 years old, you guys. I know he looks much older, but he's quite a young man himself. And quite frankly, he is in his prime right now. 31, 32, this is prime time for Martin Bakole. So I definitely caution Jared to not take this man lightly at all. Martin is not shy. He is not passive in the least bit. He's a dog. Okay, he's got it. He's got it in him. So he's got to be weary of that mean streak that Martin Bakole is bringing to the table. He's got to be weary of that aggressive style because it's definitely going to be on site. I actually think that this is going to be a wonderful proving ground for the young Jared. Hopefully, he's sharpened his tools since the Charles Martin fight, because he definitely cannot afford that type of sloppiness tonight. Okay, if he's not focused for a moment, he's going to be in for some tumult. Okay, Jared is definitely a really good fighter, and actually, I think anybody would be remiss to say that he is not somebody that we should be keeping our eye on in the heavyweight division. Should he get past Bakole this evening in impressive fashion, by the way, then I'd definitely love to see him step up his level of competition even further. Okay, I think it'll be great to see him, maybe sometime next year fighting the likes of a Ruiz or a Big Baby Miller, right? We'll see what happens as far as that goes. But I think Bakole is a great testament. If he is able to pull off a victory, Bakole is a great start for him to show and prove that he is able and willing to claim his spot among the elite heavyweights in the division. Oh, child. Lastly, and finally, of course, I think it goes without saying that I am going with the King, Bud Crawford, for the victory tonight for the headlining fight. Bud is a master boxer, a warrior, okay? And there isn't much that I've seen him unable to do, just as an overall fighter, okay? Madrimov is a good fighter. From what I've seen, he applies pressure. He likes to stand in front of his opponents. He likes to assert his will. Okay. He's good at finding his little openings and he knows how to capitalize on them once he finds them. But if I'm honest, I have not seen anything whatsoever in his style that would not be able to be overcome by Bud Crawford. I just got to put it as simply as that. I'd be surprised as hell to see Bud struggle against this man. I'd be through the roof. However, with that being said, we must always consider the possibilities, okay, of the X factor within any boxing matchup. Okay. This is Bud's debut fight in the 154 super welterweight division. Okay, we have to acknowledge that. This is his debut. Additionally, this is also Bud's first fight in a whole year. Okay, he has to adjust to multiple aspects in this ring tonight. Okay, ring rust spares no man, you guys. Nobody is above it, even your favorite's favorite. Okay, even if he were to come out with a victory, as we of course expect him to do, the rust will be a reality at hand tonight. Okay? He'll have to deal with it in real time. It's not that it cannot be overcome or handled. It will be present, but it's how you handle it that will, prove its point or not prove its point. That's just how the game works, right? To be out of the ring for an entire year, as we know, is a substantial thing. Okay. I wish, the inactivity would really cease in boxing. It's crazy how long you got one person out for 2 years, one other person out for goddamn near 3 years and, 10 months. And I just wish it would stop in boxing. It's way too frequently occurring. But anyway, nonetheless, I believe in Bud. I believe in Bomac, aka Backpack, as I call him. I believe in their teamwork. I believe that, they have been crossing their T's and dotting their I's with a proper war plan. Okay, so we will see how all of these matters are adapted to and how they can be overcome with the specific game plan that they have at hand. Madrimov also is a fighter who is not defensive. We got a lot of non-defensive fighters on this card, you guys. What's going on here, y'all? I wonder how he's going to be able to deal with Bud's counter punching, because we know he's a master at that, right? So if he's unable to evade anything that Bud has coming back, bro is definitely going to be cooked food. From what I've seen of Madrimov, also, he's very trigger happy. And what I mean by that is that he likes his punch output. He likes it. He likes to topple his opponents. His stamina to me appeared to, hold up pretty good. He had okay movement, I guess you could say. So he's not totally going to be a stiff board in front of Bud Crawford. So I think he could keep up with Bud in that sense. However, Bud is a well of unknown things. Okay. He likes to play with his food before devouring his meal. He's very creepy like that. He's probably one of the most patient fighters in the game. Okay. He likes to solve puzzles. He likes the taking of his time to solve his puzzles. He is in no rush to demolish you. He prefers a slow burn. Okay. I think that's what makes him a master. I think that's what makes him devastatingly dangerous as an opponent. I think Bud is going to prove once again tonight that not many men can stand in front of him. He's going to claim his belt. He's going to go home to his beautiful family like every other time. That's what I predict. For me, this fight is really in no way what I'm in anticipation of. This fight has no interest of mine whatsoever. I'm looking beyond this fight. What I'm excited for is for him to get past this so that he can get on to what I am anticipating. Real talk. My excitement is for what's coming. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's not him and Madrimov. I understand the assignment that he is on, to claim this strap. I know what he's doing, and I'm in support of him doing that. But it's like, okay, get past him so that I can get active. As a fight fan, I'm ready to get active. I want to see a fight with Jermell Charlo. Okay? I'm definitely waiting for my rematch with Earl Spence. That's for motherfucking sure. What? Got to see that. I'm not opposed to him fighting Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? Or Tim Tszyu, for that matter, perhaps. 100% I'm interested in Bud's work in the 154-pound division. There's a lot of work to be done there. A lot of killers in the division lurking and peeking around. I want to see what he going to do. How you going to step to these brothers? What you got? I want to see it. I cannot wait to see the dynamic that is replete with possibility and all types of challenges possibly for Bud Crawford. I want to see him topple over all of them. I want to see them topple him. I need to see that. I want the engagement. This is what makes boxing great. And it's certainly what makes the men that we support even greater. I love the fight game, y'all. But yes, I'm going to go with Bud for the W, of course. And you know what? I wonder if Bud is going to call out anybody's goddamn name tonight in that ring should he win. You feel me? Our name's going to be called? Because if you guys remember in my previous video, I'm like, where's the smoke? I need people's names to be said. What is up with the not calling of names in boxing in today's landscape, you guys? I don't like that. I don't like it. Boots is going to be in the house, front and center, which is very interesting. That's the type of shit that I want to see. These fighters need to go to their ops' fight. Go to your ops fight. Claim space. Show your face. These fighters got to start showing motherfuckers that nothing is sweet. Am I the only one? Am I the only one on that type of time, you guys? I know I'm not. I'm talking to my real ones out there. I know I'm not the only one on this type of time, you guys. That's my type of shit. My name is not sugar-free Mars for no reason. It's never sweet over here with me. I wonder if some names are going to be called out tonight. I wonder if Boots is going to try to make his way into the ring. Interesting stuff, you guys. I'm very, very curious. You cannot have your strap out and not directly aim at your targets. Not when you're on the hunt, that is. If you're out here playing games for sport, that's another thing. But if you really on your hunting shit, nah, baby. The aim is at you. I'm aiming at your head. So we will definitely see what goes down tonight with this fantastic card. Hopefully we are all entertained. Hopefully we see some great, great, great boxing. We see the fellas working, put they work in. I can't wait to see what goes down tonight, you guys. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm on to the next, y'all. Peace.